Hey Gengar Gang, what is going on? My name is Ryan, this is the Untitled Gengar, and welcome to another video. In today's video, number 12 of what is possibly going to be 15 different PSA Graded Returns on the channel. Nothing much to say other than make sure to check out the other videos. They have been quite an experience unboxing PSA Graded Returns from way back to base set Charizards, all the way up to EX era, some of the most rare and popular Pokemon cards in the hobby right here getting unboxed on this channel. So make sure to leave a like on today's video if you like EX graded Pokemon cards. And other than that, let's go ahead and get started. So today's video covers everything from EX Unseen Forces to Delta Species. So really not a lot of variety in terms of Pokemon card sets, but some really interesting and rare cards. If you were a fan and checked out last week's video, you know that there was one Umbreon EX. Here is another one. This one is a PSA 8, and what we are doing is we are looking for a possible Gem Mint 10. Here is a 7. And honestly, I'm just going to stream through these only because there are so many of them. Here is a 9. And as you can see, the differences between a 9 and a 10 are slim. This is one of those cards that I'm probably going to scrutinize under a magnifying glass and see if I cannot come up with a way to justify grading it again. The argument here is pretty simple. The argument is that if it looks like a 10, and I think I can challenge the grade, I will simply either crack the card and resubmit the card and hope for a 10, or possibly have it challenged. Challenging cards can be a costly and difficult route to take, only because PSA kind of requires you to pay at the level that the card is currently worth. If you simply crack and resubmit the card, however, you can just as easily just walk right on through and resubmit the card. So if I submit it raw and it grades a 10, it could theoretically be a lot easier a challenge. Here's an 8. So we've seen 6, 7, 8. No, sorry, we've seen 7, 8, and 9. Here's another 6. So this one got a little bit roughed up. I'm sure there's a reason for that. Probably the burring on the corners is probably what cost this card the most, which is unfortunate. But you know what? The good thing with duplicate cards is that there's an opportunity to trade or sell or do whatever you need to do, and you can get other cards in the set that you might be missing. Here's an Umbreon EX. Here's the last one, and I already see that. That means I did not get a PSA 10 Umbreon EX, even though there were a total of 8 submitted, which just goes to show nothing is ever guaranteed with PSA 10s. They are very exclusive nowadays. There were times in PSA's history where they weren't as tough on them, but especially nowadays, really difficult. Here we have a EX Delta Species Hollow. So this is the hollow version of the card. It looks like a reverse foil because as you notice I'm flicking the card, you'll see the entire card is holographic, but this is actually the hollow version of the card. It ended up getting a 7. And Espeon is another one of those Pokemon cards where there is a lot of focus on the card and there is a lot of love for the Pokemon. So here's just another example of a gorgeous looking card. This one got a 9. Holy smokes. Alright, that's pretty cool. See, this is another one of those cards. I want to look at it under a magnifying glass, and if it's possibly worth it, have it regraded. It looks like, and I'm getting this just from the amount of cards that are under this same set, but it looks like Jolteon, meaning all of the evolutions up till the point may have been in Delta Species. Here's another Delta Species Pokemon, a Mint 9. Very cool. Now, a couple things to note about Delta Species. Apparently, there was an island in the Pokemon lore that ended up having a undiscovered series or species of Pokemon, and that was the Delta species of Pokemon. Apparently it's the region of Holon, which is why EX Delta Species and EX Holon Phantoms have Delta Species Pokemon, and what's cool about them is that this Pokemon is the original type as well as Steel type, so it gets treated as both, which is pretty dope. I like this artwork, but it does kind of look very Pikachu-esque. It looks more like a rabbit and less like a cat, which I've always kind of experienced the evolutions as, but let me know down below. Do you think Jolteon is a cat, a rabbit, or some other abomination of Pokemon goodness? With that said, we have a Latias from Delta Species. This is the holographic version of the card, and as you can see, Delta Species did a really cool thing with the hollows where like it looks like a reverse foil. Honestly, EX was all over the place with what looked like what in terms of like reverse foils, and it got a 9. Very cool. So I'm gonna not reveal the grade, I'm just gonna bring it right into frame. Here is the Latios, which got an 8, but you know, pretty nifty. I like that the 2 cards are sequentially graded, so you can see the certification numbers are 002, 003, and the 2 cards are actually in order, which is pretty cool. It sucks that they didn't get the same grade, because I feel like that definitely helps the cause at times, but whatevs. So, here is a holographic version of Metagross from EX Delta Species. Metagross is one of the Pokemon that, again, I really, really like and had on my team growing up. Now, obviously, I didn't get it until after I beat Emerald, but trained it up to level 100 to match all of my other Pokemon and took on the Battle Frontier with it. Here's the Hollow version of that card, and it got a PSA 9. Very cool. So here's the gimmick now. Of course, it wouldn't be a submission for the Analytic Gengar unless I had the same exact card as a duplicate. So here is the reverse foil version of that card, and I remember this card. This card was clean. This card was good. This card, I thought this card might be Beckett 10 worthy. Not Black Label, but possibly a PSA 10. Very cool. So I'll take that as my guess for the day as to a PSA 10, but this is a beautiful card. Very excited to have it. Don't be surprised if this is one of the cards that I kind of hold on to forever and ever. It's a beautiful card, and the funny thing, and here's what I was mentioning earlier about, you know, EX cards being all over the place. You can see the differences between the hollow and the reverse hollow, mainly being this big stamp and the hollow foil on the name. I honestly prefer this one to this one. So it's a situation where, you know, I actually kind of like the reverse more than I like the regular holographic version of the card, but, you know, to each his or her own. Next up, we have a Rayquaza Hollow. So here's another one of those nifty cards. They got really creative with some of these artworks. Honestly, this could be, there's an EX card that looks just like this, but I can kind of see they kind of use the same CGI to kind of animate this. Got a 9, very cool. And of course a duplicate, just in case one didn't come back with a great grade, but they both got 9s. Very cool. And then, of course, another dupe, or a triplicate at this point, with also a 9. So I got 3 sequential certs, all being PSA 9s. Next up, a card that I distinctly remember pulling from a pack way back in the day. This is not the card that I pulled, just to be clear, but this is a card that I have pulled in the past when I was super young, a Salamence. And this card ended up getting a 8. Very cool. And then would it be me if I didn't have a second version of the same exact card? This one got an 8 as well. Okay. Finally but not least, friends, in today's video, I have what is another one of my favorite Pokemon, Tyranitar. Oh, I forgot to mention, Salamence is also one of the Pokemon that I had. So I had both pseudo-legendaries, which is kind of cheesy now that I think about it, but I was also a kid, so of course you want the pseudos on your team. And then I had a Tyranitar, not from anything, but from XD Gale of Darkness, because in that game you could catch a Shadow Pupitar and raise it all the way up. So I actually traded it into my Emerald, and it became another teammate. And look at that holographic pattern. The Pokemon is holographic, which is pretty cool. And this card ended up getting a PSA 9, a PSA 8. Okay. Thanks again for checking out today's video, friends. As usual, my contact info will be down below if you're interested in taking a look further and purchasing any of the cards on screen right now. Of course, some may have already sold by the time this video has come out, but whatever is available will be up for purchase. Let me know down below in the comments if you enjoyed today's video. Tons of different great Pokemon cards coming out of today's video. So I'm super excited. A lot of my fan favorite Pokemon as well. So I actually really enjoy unboxing today's video just because it's also just super cool to kind of like see cards from back when you were like growing up and stuff. With that said, friends, thanks again for checking out today's video. As always, I appreciate your viewership. Hope you guys are doing well. Have a great afternoon, and we'll talk real soon. Peace.